Hi everyone. Today I'll be sharing how to craft a killer intro, a killer opener, how to start or begin your speech, how to start your presentation, whether it's for PowerPoint or it's for business or corporate or even investment pitch, how to sell a vision or sell a story to your prospective audience members or your prospective clients. Today I will also be covering a few of the common mistakes that people make during the introduction stage. So stay tuned till the complete video so you don't make these mistakes. I will guide you on how to give a killer introduction smartly. These are the tactics that I have learned when I first started off with my corporate journey, giving presentation and public speaking. This was a decade ago. I came to know of these effective technique quite late in my career. So I really wish that if you know it right now, it is going to accelerate your career and those pitches are going to be amazing. For those who are new to the channel, my name is Kunal Moon and I am here to help you bring the best version of yourself with a focused approach on goal setting for personal and professional life. I'm here to share my experiences, my learnings that I've gained working across multiple industries, from being a developer to a sales and marketing professional to becoming an artist and a speaker. If you're new and haven't already subscribed, do hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on the future videos. So, without wasting more time, let's start off. If you're asked to introduce a topic or present a topic, first and foremost important thing is building credibility. I know talking about self or your achievement may not look humble to a few of you, but it is required so your audience member find you much more credible and they will pay a closer attention to what you truly say. So, how do you exactly gain their attention? By establishing credibility. What does that even mean, establish credibility? Why will people even listen to you? There are reasons for that. If you are a speaker on a particular topic, you would need to be either someone who is a subject matter expert or someone who is a practitioner, that is not just a theorist. You have that practical experience. And what makes you a subject matter expert? Of course, you can boil down to some of the accolades, the awards, the testimonials, or setting aside these awards. It could only be the thing that you do, that is your action itself. So, here's exactly how you establish a credibility. But before we go into specific, why should you establish credibility? It's because it makes whatever you're going to say in your main part of the speech, the crux of the speech, more believable. At the same time, the audience members are less likely to hold opposite views. Doubt that tends to run counter to the effectiveness of the points that you are going to deliver. Now, here's how you establish credibility. The first technique, as I've mentioned earlier, would be exactly sharing them how many years you have spent in researching and executing that particular task. Your experience counts. When they say researching, it doesn't really mean that you should be holding a PhD degree or a master's degree on that particular discipline. No. But you have spent a significant amount of time researching for that topic, even that counts. Your words tend to be more credible in that way. For instance, you can start off your presentation by saying this. Hello everyone. Today, I'll be sharing public speaking techniques, how to ace your interview skills. Now, over the past 11 years, I have spent several hours. You can also name specific hours, 3 hours every day, researching on some of the best practices. I've talked to more than 150 best interview teachers, both online, offline, and giving live workshops. Now, that is building credibility by talking about your experiences mileage and your research mileage. Now, second tactic. This is adding engaging or thought-provoking statistics. How does statistics help in terms of the introduction? Well, it helps very much. It tends to build that credibility of data and more importantly, it supports your claim. This is not just a normal opinion. It supports that claim that you are well informed and well researched. For example, if you say more and more people are down with diabetes in country X, if you just simply say that, it might not be as powerful and as accurate as compared to, according to the recent health department survey, statistics shows that 33% of the population are suffering from diabetes. Now that would be more powerful than simply just saying more and more people. Now, what you can do even to make that better is engage with the audience. If your audience is seated up and is listening to you, how can you make that happen? Just create that curiosity and let them feel that impact. You see, if somebody just sees that figure itself without the link of the impact or without that severity of the problem, they are just going to literally see the problem. So how do you make them see the problem? Let's take, for example, you are in a live seminar, a training is happening, a live workshop is happening, and you have the audience member seated up. Say, ladies and gentlemen, look at the person to your left. Could you now turn to your right and have a good look of that person? Now, I would want you to take a good look at yourself. Now, here's what statistics of the recent health department survey says. 1 out of 3 of you is likely to be down with diabetes. Now, that is more powerful representation to the audience because they feel that it's more alive. Now, the third technique, using quotations to your advantage. Now, what exactly I mean by quotations? As the name suggests, it's a quote. Someone else has said it and you will now reproduce it. Of course, giving due credit to that person. For instance, say something like, ladies and gentlemen, facts tell, stories sell. This is an example of a quote, and it would be very appropriate, especially if you are giving a presentation about storytelling or story selling. Or some individuals can say, as Martin Luther King once said, the time is always right to do what is right. Now is the right time to do it. And it will encourage you to move on later on to the content and then agreeing to what is going to be said. Now, when it comes to the quotes, here are 2 quick tips that you can consider so that the quote may look highly relevant. If it is ever possible, try and add value to that quote. Say, instead of just simply saying facts tell, stories sell. Now, of course, somebody must have already heard that. So what you can do is you can add just something like this. What is often not said. Let me repeat that magical phrase. What is often not said. Say, for example, if you say facts tell, stories sell. But what is often not said is your story can only sell if you know how to narrate it well. That would be the value addition to that quote, and the phrase what is not often said helps you transit to that part. It makes the other person see you as a thought leader, as adding more value and contributing more to that subject of quote. And the next step, try to explain the quote or just little more and see how well it ties up back to that conclusion. So it is just like a sandwich method that you can use. You can start off with a quote and end off with a similar related quote. What do I mean by that? Say, for example, the mind works like a parachute. It works best when it's open. It's a quote. Just give a bit of explanation. Even 1 or 2 sentences will be good enough. Something like this. We need to therefore keep our powerful minds open so that we will not miss out on the opportunity. And my speech today is to help you keep your mind open, especially when we tend to get very defensive. And that will make the pay for your presentation and delivery. I often share this with individuals. You craft a powerful introduction with powerful enough story. Facts tell, stories sell. We have heard this many times, But why is the story? But why does a story really or truly sells? It's because story help you bring alive common problems that people feel. It helps you make more real, more tangible for your audience. But here's also one problem that many presenters make while telling a story as an introduction. What they do is they start off with their presentation by saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you a story." This is what they actually do. They start off with the presentation saying, "Let me tell you a story." Now it's the same thing, such as simply saying, "Let me tell you a joke." What's wrong with that approach is it kills that surprise element. If you're going to tell a joke, simply say it. Don't reduce that element of surprise. It's like telling them, "I'm going to tell the funniest joke ever." You are going to laugh like crazy. What's going to happen? The audience member will probably bring their defensive shield and just going to challenge that statement. Is it funny enough? Or they are just going to think of the way to preempt what you are going to say. Therefore, missing on these punchlines or the punch words. So it's extremely important. If you want to tell a story, just tell the story. You don't have to say, "Let me tell you a story." Just tell the story. Go straight into that story. One more thing. When you tell a story, you need to start it not necessarily at the top end. That means the beginning of the story and the end in that chronological order. There are many different ways, permutations and combinations that you can do. These are the advanced storytelling techniques. What you can do is, you can start off with a middle story, or you can start off with a climax, that is a tipping point. That means that in that hero's journey, you can start off with the tension and the exciting part of the story, and then you can start over from the beginning part. Say for example, some speaker would prefer to start off by saying the solution first. For example, "I was able to lose and become very healthy and sustainable 3 kgs a month on a particular diet, say keto. And that took me 6 years to finally uncover a diet that is sustainable, a diet that supported by medical practitioners, and the diet that do not require you to go to the extreme ends." Now, so how it all started? It started off with a solution. There is a benefit of doing it. In fact, there is a benefit of different kind of permutations. For instance, starting off with a resolution that helps the audience to stay interested in how you can start, and it gives them a sort of preview of what is that they can expect. This is especially useful if you're speaking before the audience who are extremely busy and they want to go straight to the point very quickly, and they might therefore think that it's worth my time to stay a bit longer just to hear what you say. I hope you have enjoyed all these techniques so far. If you would like to hear more of these techniques, please feel free to leave that in the comment section. Feel free to send me a message. I will be looking through your various suggestions to create more such valuable videos for you. Now, to summarize what we just learned on some of the effective ways to attract and hook your audience members. Here are four main tips that I have shared. The first tip I have shared with you would be to exactly how to let your audience member know about your credibility. It could be your practical experience. It is very similar to what you call documentation, or very similarly to the creation of credibility and authority. Second technique that I have shared with you is using engaging or thought-provoking statistics. Sometimes let number speak for you. Let these figure and the statistics come alive. But you need to make it more relevant so that the audience engages with that and they remember it. The third technique would be use quotations to your advantage. Using these quotations could be a powerful maxim or a powerful phrase or powerful statement for your audience member to remember even after they have watched your presentation. But of course, remember, if you quote someone or from a certain source, credit that source. It's important for us not just to take that in a wholesale without giving appropriate credit. The final strategy technique for grabbing that attention which I have shared is to tell a story and make a point. We all know facts tell, stories sell. But of course, not all these stories are created equal. We need to know what specific strategy on how we can get the audience to buy in throughout the process, the conflict, go through the hero's journey, and eventually have that resolution. So I hope all these tips are useful to you. Remember to apply them. So that is it from my side. I hope I was able to do justice with the time, and best wishes for your presentation or the interview. I look forward to your questions and suggestions in the comment section.